Hey guys, and welcome back to another Java tutorial. Fun fact about this video, I actually recorded the whole thing without having Fraps open, so this is the second time I'm doing it. But anyways, let's jump in to the lesson. For this one, we're going to be talking about conditional statements, specifically the if statement and the if-else statement. To demonstrate this, we're going to use the scanner. So let's import the scanner, which is java.util.scanner, and let's make a scanner object, which, if you remember, is scanner, the name of your scanner, and then new scanner with system.in. So let's make an integer variable called age and set it equal to whatever your scanner is called .nextInt, because this is going to ask the user for their age. But before we do that, we should probably tell them that that's what we're doing. So make a print line and say enter your age. And that's pretty much a standard. Whenever you want something from the user, you should probably tell them what you want so they're not confused. But right now we have that asking for their age, and now let's get into what this lesson is about. Okay, so we're going to talk first about the if statement, just the single if. And how the if statement is written is it's the word if and then an open parentheses. And inside these parentheses, right here, is what we call the condition. It's what Java is going to equate to true or false. So for this one, you're going to use like the variable age, because that's what we're working with. And let's say if age is less than 18, we're going to do something. So what do we want to do if age is less than 18? Let's print out, wow, you sure are young. And let's just keep writing code after that. Thanks for entering your age. Alright, so let's run this program and then enter your age. Let's do 21. Actually, no. Let's do 15. And it says here, wow, you sure are young, and then thanks for entering your age. Okay, so let's do this again. And now let's do 21. As you can see, it only said thanks for entering your age. It didn't print this line, because what an if statement does is if this is true, it will do the next line following it, or otherwise it just skips that line and pretends like it doesn't exist. To Java, it doesn't care about that. In this situation, it does not need to use that. It's not going to put any regard to that. It's just going to continue on down the line in this with the rest of the program. And that's pretty much the logic to all if statements. Like, if you I can draw it for you here. Like, if you're following the program, it's going to go down the line and it's going to hit this if statement, like right here. We'll just make it a diamond, and it's going to say, it's going to be if. So now if this is true, let's say this is true, I'm just going to write the word true in bad paint handwriting. If this is true, it's going to go down and it's going to do this line right here, which is this, in this case would be wow, you are young. And then after that, it's going to continue on with the program. But now let's say it's false. It's going to go off to the side here to false, and then it's going to skip over that and then hit here and then go on with the program to this line. And this is basically how the logic of if statements work. Is it goes down, and once it sees the if, it will decide if it's true or false. And if it's false, it will skip over the next line of code and pretend like it doesn't exist, or the next block of code, because I'm about to show you how we can make it more useful than just a single line. So if we go back into Eclipse, we can say, okay, well, if statements are really nice, but, well, what's the point if it really can only do one line? I mean, other than printing out a sentence or something, one line of code really isn't enough to do anything. So you can, with the if statement, you can make a block statement. And basically a block statement is multiple lines of code put into a segment. So how you do that is either around, like, as long as it's before the first line, you put a curly brace, and then at the end of your code that you want to block off, you put a closing curly brace. So let's say if you want to pick 2 lines now. It says, wow, you're really young, and then say, come see me in a few years. So now if we run this program again, you can see it says enter your age, and you can put 15, and it prints out both these lines as well as this thanks for entering your age line. So this is how you do a block statement. You just do curly braces to block it off from the rest of the code, so Java knows that this is related to the if statement. And one thing to do when you're making if statements is, you see how these lines of code here are indented? That's basic convention whenever you write. Because like, let's say you were sharing your code with a friend or someone just helping you write something. It's easier for someone to understand like what this code is for if you indent it. Like if this was just like this, I mean, you might miss that if statement and you might just think that these things happen regardless. But if you tab it over, it basically alerts someone saying, hey, you know, this is probably part of an if statement or another block of code, so pay attention. And that's just basic convention whenever you're writing code. Okay, so now we're going to talk a little bit more about another type of conditional statement. It's really just a continuation of the if statement, and that's called the if-else statement. And how you do that is, like, let's say you had an if statement, and let's say this is false, right? So if it's false, you want to do something specific. You don't want to just, you know, say, oh, well, thanks for entering your age. You want to say, oh, wow, you're over 18. That's cool. Like, let's say you just wanted to print that line out. You can use the word else, and it's a reserved word in Java, so you just write else, and then you put a open curly brace, just like you did for the block statement up here. So now this else will have its own block statement as well. And you can enter the else as long as you want. You can line it up or whatever. And then system.out.println, you're pretty old, even though that's not really true. Let's just say that for this tutorial. And now let's run this program again. And now let's say your age is 21. You're pretty old. Thanks for entering your age. So this is a basic conditional statement in Java that you will probably use quite often when you're coding. It's really simple to understand, and it really allows you to do a lot more than what you would be able to do without it. Because really, without an if-else, this gives Java a chance to, you know, do decision making, and without it, you really can't do much. I mean, using loops is a way to kind of get around it, but if-else is really a core programming technique. So I hope you guys like this tutorial, and if you have a question, leave it in the comments below, and I'll try to get back to you.